Morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela and I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and welcome back to Whips, Bits and Chat number 59. Right, so this week is a super duper 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 happy week. Right, everything's going brilliantly. I would like to say a thank you ever so much to all of you, whether you're an old subscriber or whether you're one of my more recent and newbies. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos and leaving comments and keeping me cheering on for that next video. And because of your help, I am now able to monetize the channel, which means at some point you will start seeing adverts on the channel, like before the videos. I will try my utmost to keep them to a minimum for you. What I do say is, if any of them turn out to be super duper long ones, knock them off. After about 20-30 seconds I will check all the rulings and give you an updated what to do sort of at a later point, possibly next week, and once I've read through absolutely all of it. So at least then you know if you are watching an ad, it's gonna count. So again, thank you ever so much. Is all I can say really. Right, so I've gone a bit doolally again, so I'm going to take a few seconds and then we will get on with this week's video roundup. Right, so now for this week's video roundup. So of course this week the very first video out for you guys was the yarn review, which was the McLeaner bobble. I'm going to put a little outtake at the end of this video, which is me attempting to say that last word, just to give you a bit of a giggle. I tried my hardest, so apologies to anybody who can speak German, but I was using the translator on Google, so it was probably completely off anyway. Right, so as I said, that was the very first one. That was the yarn review. Now I am working on the dress still. I will show you that a little bit later. Next one up was the book review, The Happy Gurumi by Vanessa. Now that book I won, so I am still super chuffed and desperate to get on to the next item in that, but the dress has got to come first. And then we had our live on Tuesday, and yes, yet again I mucked up. I thought I'd set it all up properly, and again didn't work. So a few minutes later I actually came back on rather than leaving it the half hour. I managed to get back on again, and I talked your ear off for like nearly 2 hours. I'm so sorry, because normally I keep it to an hour, don't I? So that is a little just shy of 2 hour video if you want to catch up with that, and that explains what I got up to on Monday. I'll give you a quick brief a bit later, but the full story is in that video, so it's easier if you just go there, because then you get the first the first way time I said it, which gives you a bit more emphasis. If I repeat, it doesn't sound so good the second time round. Then on Friday we had Throwback Friday and number 20. Now in that one there is a Whips and Bits volume 15 colour match. Now the colour match was for the poppies, and remember this was for last year when I couldn't get hold of any more Aldi, so I had to find another brand. I have since gone on to find yet another brand, because the last year's brand I was using got a bit too pricey. So this year's brand is a lot cheaper, and of course I have that gorgeous affiliated link from the Secret Yarn Stash. So because of the affiliated link, that is helping me get all the yarn this year. Now if you choose to use the affiliated link that is in the drop down box and down below, please remember she only ships to the UK and all of Ireland at the moment. To ship abroad would cost you guys an absolute arm and leg, so at this moment in time she is outpriced to send anything over to you. And then the last little bit was a happy mail. I'm not going to tell you any more than that. If you want to have a nose at the link, it will be in the description box down below and up here. Oh, that side. I've got to remember, it's that side. And it will be up there as well for you to have a quick nose. Right, so also on Friday, out of sequence, out of normal time, I actually popped up as breaking news, which was the sales for UK, US and Australia. If you haven't had a chance to watch that, get to it now. Stop this video here, come back and see me in a little bit once you've seen these sales and decided whether they are for you or not for you. If they're for you, I'll see you sometime this evening once you take your trainers off and have unloaded your car. Right. And remember, check the description box on the video because there has been more added since I made the video. We've got a beautiful, beautiful crazy over in Australia, our colours of the outback, and she has sent us over a discount code for Spotties. So if you're over in Australia, definitely check that description box out because you'll be saving an absolute fortune. Eek! I'm setting up my AdSense at the moment. Oh my word, there is so many categories and so many things to jump through. So let me give you a little idea on this one. I'm just going to pull it up and I'll explain to you what I am knocking off and hopefully the reasons behind it, so you'll know why you're not seeing these ads. And then on top of that, if there's any that pop through that you don't like the look of, remember, stick it in the comment section down below and I'll have to come in and knock them off again. So blocked, it started off, there was 15 categories for me to choose and I've not got many left, so I've left you star signs. I've left you that one. I thought, well, pretty pictures will be okay there. I've removed the cosmetic product procedures and body mortification. If you guys want to know about facelifts, there are other places you can look apart from ads that pop up here. I've also got rid of the dating because the majority of us are married and the ones that aren't are already going to be on those sites if that's the way they like to find the dates. I've got rid of your downloadable utilities. Now this section is for software downloads. Never trust a pop-up for downloading different software. Always go and try and find that one yourself. That is something my husband has drilled into me, as he is actually a Microsoft engineer. So this is why I don't use some some apps that other creators do. It is because they're not safe enough, and he says stay clear. So that one I have knocked off, so you shouldn't see those on this channel. Also anything to do with drugs and supplements, okay? I'm fine for supplements and pharmaceutical items and things like that, but from reputable sources. And of course, you girls all know where your local pharmacist is or health food shop if you need those items. I also got rid of the get rich quick. Why on earth would I advertise something that could end up costing you girls a lot more money? No, not doing it. I got rid of politics to references of sex. That includes the old dial-up ones, isn't it? Where have we gone? That one there. So although it does say sexual and reproductive health on that, you girls know where you need to go if you need that sort of information. I've also cut religion as well. No need for that one. If you're signed up to a religion, you're signed up. If you're not, you're not. I also got rid of one that's called a sensationalized. I can't even say it, but basically it is a mega clickbait. They put ones up that are aimed for shock value, so you're more likely to click it. I've got rid of them ones too. What else I've got? I left just sexual and reproductive health, just on the off chance. But with that one, if you spot something that's a bit untoward, tell me. That's going to be one of the ones that I may end up clicking off at a later point. Got rid of your social casino game. No, sorry, I've left social casino games. Now they're the ones that are your free games to play, but of course we're already set up with most of them anyway via Facebook, aren't we? And video games, casual and online. I've got rid of weight loss. Heck, if we can be bothered to do that, we'll do it. We know where we need to go. The other main one is alcohol. I've actually clicked that one, so we will be seeing alcohol ads possibly. But you never know, they might be a bit of fun. If they get a bit too untoward, I'll knock them off as well, but I'm allowed them ones in this country. But then I have stuck with a blocking the gaming and betting, even though it's 18 plus and the majority of you are 18 and over. Don't want to advertise that because in case we've got some youngsters on that go, oh, pretty shiny lights. So those are my reasonings and choices behind why I have clicked the certain buttons in my AdSense account. Fingers crossed the rest give us enough choice in ads so that we don't get really bored of them really quickly. Right, so it's a different day, a different outfit, but I thought I'd record this now before I forget all this information. Right, I have been in contact with my local trading standards. That's the one, trading standards. Now, trading standards in the UK are the ones that check different bits and pieces for different things that are on sale. They are there to protect the consumer as well as the company. So I found out recently that so some of your items will need to be CE marked, as well as if you're in the UK now, a UKCA mark. Now this is for soft toys and clothing or anything with a play value. So if you don't do it, it's actually a legal requirement. So you could get fined, or even worse, you could be imprisoned. So if so that's why I thought I'd best check out these rules and regulations to make sure that the mass amount of poppies that I make are legit, and that I'm not going to get fined or imprisoned, because if I get imprisoned you guys ain't getting any new videos. So I contacted them last week, left my name and number, and sat there twiddling my thumbs and waiting and waiting. So yesterday early evening I had a phone call from a beautiful bloke called Rob, which is brilliant. I ain't going to forget that name, am I? So me and Rob sat down and discussed it, and discussed all the parts of the poppy. And at this moment in time, because I am not registered as a business and I'm not selling the items, I'm donating them, he said because they have a no play value and I'm going to be carrying on sticking on the warnings on the packet, as in not suitable for certain age children, this, that and the other, and all the other warnings that are already on the packet. And I'm also going, for my own peace of mind, I've got the information for the yarn, and I've got to chase up the information for the poppy, for the brooch back, although it is a safety brooch back. And when I said it's a safety brooch back, he went, you're pretty sorted, get on with making them basically and donating them. So I'm brilliant, it's brilliant. I can now crack on with making more poppies. As I say, the poppy counts will hopefully be starting as of next week again, and we'll get that poppy count up as close as I can to 1,000 before end of October. So that's brill. But what's not brill is arigurumi, guys. If you make arigurumi and you sell your arigurumi, that is a definite, every part of that needs checked, and you have to have the appropriate paperwork for this, and that is extremely costly, especially in my area. And you're not meant to sell them on. The paperwork is assigned to each company that purchases it. So fingers crossed, good luck. If you need any more information on this, drop me an email and I will fire you off as much information as I have found so far. But please remember, the information that I may have may be slightly out of date in some cases, so your best bet is to actually read the information in the drop down box. There will be a link there to a page that Rob gave me that gives you a heck of a lot more detail and information that you need. Now let's get off of that stuff and on to the fun stuff. Completed whips this week. Okay gang, at this moment in time, as quite a few of you know, I am tackling the dress. I will pop a link to the dress pattern up there. Yay, I remember to move the right hand. And I will show you how far I've got so far in just a second. Now, of course, I'm using the Michelena bobble, which, if you watched the video earlier on this week, I actually did a product review and showed you some of the dress there in a lot closer detail. So, of course, the link will be up here again and in the drop down box down below if you want to have a nose at it. But here we go. This is it so far. Now, I'm on to my second cake. I only have 2 cakes. I don't intend to buy any more because at 10 quid a pop, nah, you're alright. Bit out of my price range. So I was hoping I would get somewhere with it on the 20 quid that I've blown on cakes so far. So this is it. This is how I'm doing. So there is the top section. These are the shoulder panels, or whether I tie them behind my neck as a halter or whether I actually sew them to the back is something for in a couple of days. Now, it's the first time I've ever had to stand up in this room and show you guys. Right, let's hope I have enough room. There we go. Right, so let's put it on straight. There is the top. It's going to come in round here. Chair, get out of the way. I'm going to stand back as far as I can now. So as you can see at the moment, the dress, yeah, that's in the right spot. Right, the dress is sitting just at the bottom of my zip on my jeans, or at least the back bit is. So the front bit, yeah, it's sitting sort of midway down the zip on the jeans. So let's jump back down, or sit back down I should say. Right, so that's how it's looking at the moment. I'm really loving the way that the stitch and the yarn are teaming up and working up together. Now, what I did say previously was that I was going to go from light to dark and then dark to light. But looking at the way that it has worked itself up, I'm now actually just going light to dark, and then I'm going to go light to dark again, so that I haven't got that massive black bit going around the worst bits of my body. So as it stands at the moment, that is how much of the cake I have left. So I have used up the first layer of pink, like solely the pink. I have actually cut the yarn at that point, and I've got a little ball of it left that hopefully I can use for embellishments or something. So then my first stripe at the bottom here is actually this colourway up here, or this part of the colourway I should say. So then the ball has got this much left. So just doing a look at it and guesstimation, I'm thinking that although I have the 4 more colour, well 3 and a bit more colour changes to go on it, I'm probably going to get that much extra length out of it, so it is going to end up being a top, but we'll have to wait and see. Fingers crossed it covers my bottom. Right, so of course with all that extra information I gave you about trading standards and poppies, as you can imagine, I hadn't really touched poppies for the majority of this week and last week because I didn't want to run the risk of wasting time making them for them to then fail all the tests and me say I can't donate. Right, so I didn't actually really make any. I have some that were in parts, so what I've actually done is sat and started putting those together, and now I know I'm okay to do it. I'm going to go back to them and do the brooch backs and then pack them once I resort out my labels and double check it all. So fingers crossed next week, instead of doing a shout out for 30, hopefully I'll be able to add a 60 in instead, which will make up for last week's missed, and then hopefully once that dress is finished I will put in a couple of solid days into just making them completely. I'm going to be seeing poppies flying at me as I'm driving along the road, aren't I? Okay, so what else have I been up to this week? Well, as some of you know, if you managed to catch hold of the live on Tuesday evening, Monday I went doolally and I went into my local town, or a local town. I went into Cheltenham and I walked down one side of Cheltenham, doing all the little side streets, trying to find a reasonably priced suit for my daughter. Now, she's got her prom coming up, because they now do those in the UK. or expense. But anyway, she has her prom coming up, so we've bought her ticket, but she doesn't want to wear a dress. She's not overly girly girl, she's my tomboy, and she's 5'8". Need I say any more, really? So she's 5'8", around the same size as me, and so I had to go and do a bit of a recce, because she absolutely loathes shopping. Getting her out clothes shopping is ridiculous. I might as well just go and buy the same thing multiple times and have them stored away upstairs. She doesn't do well with change, bless her. So I've gone into town and I've had a nose in half of the shops. It took me 3 hours to get through half of the shops, and I'm a lazy shopper. I don't go browsing unless I really feel like it, and I knew I wasn't going to have time and I wasn't going to feel like browsing. So I walked straight into the shop, straight up to a staff member and say, can you put me in the direction of the suits, please? And that's what I did for the whole way along. Sorry for any extra noise that you can hear at the moment. I've had to open a window because this room is really hot. We finally have sun, yes, not rain, yay. But anyway, and getting back to what else I've been up to. Yeah, so I've done the shops. So if you pop over to Tuesday's live for a bit of a catch up there, you'll hear the whole story on that one. I'm not going to repeat the whole thing, otherwise this video will end up being 2 hours long. Right, so that was Monday, and so then of course on our Tuesday we had our chat, and we had a couple of Pattern Pros winners, which is absolutely brilliant. So I'm in the midst at the moment of sorting out patterns for those girls that won the patterns. Congratulations. They've all been claimed now. As I said, it's just me either writing up patterns or sending over the patterns. But with time zones and everything else, it's going to have been a slow process. I'm saying it like that because, of course, I'm recording on Thursday today, not Friday. So this video is having bits added in throughout the week before I forget them. Otherwise, I put them out and I go, oh no, I meant to tell the girls and guys this, that, and the other, and don't get round to it. Right, so that was Tuesday, and then Wednesday it's been chilling out because it's been chucking it down with rain, and chilling out and making that dress. And then Thursday, of course, I'm sitting in front of my computer. Although this morning I did have a visit from my gorgeous little neighbour up the road who had a day off today, so she came round with Luna the dog, and Luna the dog wore Liam out. So although the door is open, he has passed out on the sofa. They were only here for about 45 minutes, but it was enough time for him and her to run round the garden like lunatics. Sorry gang, I didn't record anything because we had a little one in the house as well. And then on Friday, it was my youngest one's last day at high school. That's right, I'm now old. She's going back for sixth form next year, but that's it now. She's got an almighty amount of time off for her summer holidays. It starts now and she goes back sometime in September. So once I'd picked her up from school, we then went to try on one of the suits that I found, which is the emergency suit. It's nothing special, so much so that she's asked if she can do embroidery on it, which I said yes to. I'm just wondering what type of embroidery she will do. She's sitting upstairs at the moment designing it, so that if we can't find the suit that she absolutely wants, she wants a blue one. So if she can't find a blue one, she will end up with the black one that we have found. So that was yesterday, because I'm now on Saturday. How to confuse you guys even more. This is Saturday's outfit. So Friday consisted of me dropping her in by 8 o'clock in the morning because she had her last exam, and then I was meant to be picking her up about 11:30. So I thought, right, I will do the other end of the high street. So I did well, not other end, the other side of the high street, and went down all of them. Just missed out one big shop, Primark. I missed it out. I'll possibly go back, and knowing my luck, that'll be the shop where the suit is. The bestest suit in the whole wide world. No, no luck. But yeah, so I did the rest of those in the 2-hour gap, and then went and sat in the car making poppies while I waited for her. Thankfully I had taken some yarn with me, because although they'd said the kids could come out from 11:30, they were running late. Their leavers assembly lasted longer than what they thought, and then of course the kids had their shirts that they'd taken in, clean shirts, so that their friends could sign the shirts. None of this going up to their mate and writing it on their back like it was when we were at school because of COVID. So she comes rolling out of school all happy and everything at about 1 o'clock. So I've been sitting in the car that length of time. So I did get a good few poppies made, that's a bonus. And then we went off, as I said, and she got to try on that suit. But in that time frame when I was walking down the shops, walking down the high street, I decided I was going to do a little bit of recording as well. So I went to my favouriteest yarn shop in the whole wide world and found that they're no longer there, and that the shop's getting turned into a pancake shop. So yes, slightly angry at that and slightly upset as well, but there's not really much I can do about that. So I then went into a few other shops, and I'm in the process, once this video is finished, of putting another, right, so I'll be in the process of making another window shopping video for you, and there's some stories to that one as well, but I don't want to spoil them because that won't be coming up for a couple of weeks. And I also found an Aladdin's cave of a shop that just stocks material, just that, just material, nothing else. Well, buttons, ribbons, bits like that, no yarn, just material. So I was wondering, would you guys be interested in going in to have a look in at that Aladdin's cave? If you do, stick a comment down below saying, yep, take us to the Aladdin's cave. He had a little bin of leftovers, because I said to him, I said, look, I'm not after an entire meter, I've got a project in mind later on in the month. Right, so basically what it is was I was looking for some certain types of material. Now my next project coming up is going to be a koala C2C. Now the thing is, this to me is screaming out textures. Okay, it is screaming to have fur on it. My dream would be to have fur. Now the tutorial I'll be putting out will be using plain yarn, but I intend to make myself another one, and this one is going to be textured, because one of our gorgeous crazies has won the pattern, and she said she was going to be making it for her grandson who is visually impaired, and at that I jumped on it. I said brilliant, because I want to make a blanket using a furry yarn for the animal, and with some more adaptations after the blanket's made, I think we can make it so that anybody with their eyes closed will be able to work out what the animal is. So she is willing to wait until the amended pattern is done, and she is going to be my tester for making the amended pattern, and her grandson is going to be my quality control guy. So he will be testing whether he can work out what the picture is, of course, where his vision is slightly impaired. So I can't wait to get that project on the go. Right, so next bit up is your photos. Yes, we got one this week. I'm super chuffed. Now, our gorgeous Connie, who is Aragurumi Ninja, sent me a photograph earlier this week of her cupcake blanket square. Now she did, bless her, she had a bit of a struggle with this one because it's the first time she'd ever done a corner to corner, so when it came to turning the corners she was a little bit unsure, so I gave her an extra nudge and a little bit of extra help, but she did it. She sped through it really quickly, and I am super chuffed. So now I'm going to show you her picture. It's really cute. Now the lighting on the image itself is a bit awkward, so you may have to struggle to work out where the eyes are, but that is down to the lighting rather than her actual work. Her work is really cute, and she's intending to turn it into a cushion. Right, that's it for me for today. I think I've talked your ear off plenty. Now don't forget, I will be aiming to be live again on Tuesday evening at 7 PM GMT. If that is an issue for some of you guys, don't worry, just watch it, play catch up, and leave me a comment in the comment section under that video and once you have seen it. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Right, I am going to head off now. I will see you all really, really soon. So if you can, please stay in. Definitely stay safe and ciao for now, everybody. Me attempting to say some German.
Farbverlaufsgarn.
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 Farbverlaufsgarn. Still can't get it. No wonder I didn't try. But it does mean gradient yarn.